All right, guys. This is. I just want to point some two things out about what we saw yesterday. This is the goal, the first goal that was scored. Tottenham is going to move the ball quickly across the field here, right? So they're moving the ball quickly across the field. You see they're dropping back, and then they're going to drop it back to the center backs, right? Now, I mentioned to you that, let me pause it here real quick. Defense has to shift quickly with the ball. These guys, Manchester United in this instance, they're not shifting quickly enough. And that's why you'll see a gap will open up when the ball hits here. There's this gap opens up, right? Because there are too many players on this side of the field. Once this gap opens up, that's where the fullback gets a chance to cut in and score that goal. So it's very important, guys, that as a team, as a unit, you're shifting defensively with the ball so that stuff like this doesn't happen to us. One other thing I want to point out is with this goal, okay? With this goal, from a goalie standpoint, when that ball is shot, goalkeeper, right? The goalkeeper does something wrong. I think most of you already know what that is. And he saved it into the middle of the field. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure we are, when you punch the ball, you're punching it wide. If you're punching it into the middle, it's like clearing the ball into the middle. So that's never a good thing, all right? So let's just see it one more time in just slow motion here. He saves it into the middle, so that's not good, all right? Okay, that being said, I at random I've picked this game here for us to look at. This is Manchester City versus Arsenal. This is considered a classic game. Again, ball moving around the back, right? You see Arsenal is putting a lot of pressure. As soon as the ball hits the midfield, in this instance, it looks like Arsenal's putting a lot of pressure. Arsenal is in yellow, by the way, and Manchester City in blue, obviously. So just want to point something out here. All right, we talk about what Arsenal is doing that's very similar to what we plan on doing. Is that we have like pretty much just four attacking players. This is 7, 11, probably 9 and 10 right here, and that's how I want us to be set up. So I don't need everyone pushing up for that. I want, my 6 and 8 maybe to support somewhere here, but it's the job of 7, 10, 9, and 11 to attack. Something good that you saw there was how the center back, okay, watch our center back here. He's going to make sure he's putting pressure. He's not just in the middle like we talked about. He's got him on the shoulder, and he's making sure he's making contact, right? He's gonna challenge for that 50-50 in front of goal so that it's not an easy header for Olivier Giroud. All right, so we're moving the ball wide. This is Santi Cazorla here. These guys are very good at, as soon as they receive the ball in the drop, they're going to send it wide, okay? All right, as soon as it's under pressure, we're going to drop. Under pressure. So did you see that quick 1-2? Guys, if you're 7, 9, 11, right, it's a great way to break up a tight defense, is going through the middle, getting 1-2 through the middle. All right, so I want you guys to be aware of that. It's a very difficult thing for defenses to react to. So as soon as I know, if I'm a 11 right here, as soon as I know I receive the ball, I can pass it to my 9. I should just make the pass and run through, because that's going to be difficult for the defense to handle. I'm going to fast forward this because nobody cares about penalties. Bear with me here. Okay, so now we're back. As you can see, City is putting a lot of pressure through the middle there. You watch that nice overlap and run, guys. It's so important. Let me see if I can take that back a little bit so you can see it again. All right. Manchester City has always been known for a style of a quick counter-attacking style. So when we saw Tottenham yesterday, when they win the ball, they're attacking very quickly. That's what we do, right? That's what we're going to be doing. As you can see, he's going to put pressure on this guy as soon as he receives the ball. That's what we want to make sure we're doing. And then immediately attacking, right? He's running into space, that overlapping ball into space. We always want to see that. We don't want to just have guys running through the middle and have no options in the width. You want to always have options in the width. That's how you keep the defense guessing where that ball is going to go. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Again, this time, as you can see, Arsenal's pressing further up the field, right, to disrupt the play. They're pressing further up the field. But what happens when teams press up the field is that they leave their back a little bit open. All right, so let's see if Manchester City can exploit that. Again, they're moving side to side. He's got pressure on him, drops it back. We're probably going to switch the ball. If not, you're going to try to see an open. Okay. Back wide, and then they're attacking from a wide angle. As you can see, this space is opened up here. Overlap and run. I hope you notice that. All right. Here's what Arsenal does very well on that. They surround the ball with numbers, okay? I can't stress enough how important it is to surround the ball with numbers. That way you're choking away all their options. Again, he's running down the middle of the field, right? And so you're gonna see options left and right. So my number 7 and number 11, all right, make sure as if we have any options running down the field that if we're having 10 or 9 running through the middle of the field, that we're providing options in the width. This is even not wide enough. I would have expected this guy to kind of make a run this way. Okay. They have something good here where they have a lot of numbers around the ball. Arsenal does. And when we clear high and wide, right? So that's the kind of clear you just saw. As you can see, Manchester City is pushing the pressure further up the field, and that's because they're down a man, right? We do not. So I just want to point something out that they did terribly there. We don't want to guess at the ball. You want to run with the attacker. So that's why we do those defend against the dribble drills. If you notice here, right, is first of all, it does a great job winning the 50-50, right? But then right here, this is terrible defending. He just throws his foot out. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. If you throw your foot out, that means you're guessing, and that means you can't properly defend. Okay? I'd mentioned to you before, and I just want to point something out again, right back here. One of the great ways to disrupt a tight defense in the middle is for someone to show to the ball, and the other one, so for a 1-2 through the middle. So number 9 shows to the ball, and maybe number 10 runs through the middle, or vice versa, right? So that's what they're trying to do here. That's what this is an attempt at. So he's coming back, and then he comes to show to the ball, right? And then he doesn't give him the option. So now we're going to stretch the field, and I'm going to be expecting this guy to overlap down the backside. This is one thing that some even professional teams don't do well enough. You see this definitely in high school, is that whenever this is a strong side, the attention of the defense shifts completely to that strong side. And that means the weak side becomes open. So I want us to be cognizant of that. My 6 and 8, if you see that ball drop to you, right, that means this is open, and I'm expecting one of my wings to be crashing into that weak space. All right, here, they don't take advantage of it, but I would expect to see that for us to be able to do that. Again, tight defense in the middle. Again, it's always wise that if you're under pressure and you're one of the last men to drop the ball back, you're going to see them try to swing the ball around the back line and what they're doing to do that, why they're doing that is that they want to stretch the Arsenal defense up. But again, this is very disciplined from Arsenal. They're staying compact in the middle, right? They're staying compact around the ball. And what that's doing is choking out all the options, and it's forcing them to try to get the ball wide. When the ball is wide, it's really actually not it doesn't harm your team in any way, right? It's when the ball comes back into the middle that becomes a problem. So, be aware. So they're doing a good job here, except they let this guy go. Great job challenging for the ball, right? So now that we're charging to the middle, I'm going to want to see, again, did you see that? Guys going to the left and right of the ball, just like he just did. He just made a nice run, right? He just made a nice run around him because he's trying to stretch the defense. So they're going to be running right and to the left of it. Bad control, right? So that's all we're going to cover today. I want you guys to please be aware of all the things that we've talked about in terms of staying compact on the from the defensive end, making sure that when we don't have the ball, we're not running around trying to push full, like a full field defense. We're trying to really just get the put pressure when they get halfway, halfway up the field. And the other thing, too, from a defensive standpoint, is to give yourself options left and right as you attack. So you're going to see him coming up the field, and he's going to stay stretched because he wants to stretch the defense. So he has right and left options. Again, here's a stretch. All right, let me just touch on that, okay? Let me just touch on this. This is something that Manchester City was not good at before Sterling showed up, okay? Raheem Sterling, who's been playing for City for a while. When they pass the ball wide, they find the back post, right? In the past, what would happen is they would miss, sort of like you just saw. Now the attackers are trained enough to expect that ball here. So I would say 90% of maybe 80% of Manchester City's goals are scored that way. They get the ball wide and then aim for the back post. Here it is again. Get the ball wide, aim for the back post. You would expect your attacker to just be there to convert that. All right. So over the 5 years, they've gotten better at that. We have probably 2 weeks. Have a good day and enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.